Yo, what up, everybody, and welcome to Off the Ground Show. I'm your boy Flojoe, and today we got a very special guest. We got my boy Jeramie right here. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up,
AKA
everybody?
Chef Neph.
What's going on, everybody?
How's
I'm happy
everything
to
been,
be here.
man?
Everything's blessed,
Welcome,
man.
welcome
Everything's
to Off the
blessed.
Ground.
Thank you for
Um,
having me, man. It's good to be here.
Thanks for coming by, and
It's been a while, bro.
yeah, it's actually been a long time since I've actually seen you.
It's been at least 4 years.
Yeah,
4 years.
yeah.
Aside from social media, yeah.
I think the last time I actually saw you was when you sold me your couch that I still have downstairs.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You still got to show me how to switch out the arms
Switch
so I
out the
could
legs. I
put
got you on that.
sectional on the other side, man.
Yeah.
So how's everything been, man?
Busy,
what's,
bro.
What's
Busy.
life been handing you?
Busy, man. Turning over new leaves. Cooking now.
I see you picked up a new name.
I picked up a new name,
They call
man.
you Chef Neph
They
now.
calling me Chef Neph.
They used to just call you Neph. Now they call you Chef Neph. So
yeah, man.
tell us a little bit about that.
Um,
What exactly do you do? I mean, obviously it entails food, but I
Yeah.
mean, talk to us about that.
all right. Well, first the name Neff came from my uncle Mike. Shout out Unc from Cerritos. He nicknamed me Neff, because I was the youngest of the group, and
Yeah.
that goes. And then Chef Neff came when I started cooking. I started cooking not formally about, I say, 5 years ago,
Okay.
and
Wait, 5 years ago. That's like a perfect number because I mean, you have twins, right?
that's right.
And they're how old?
They're 5 years old.
So you started cooking when they were born, or what?
Yeah. I started cooking 5 years old. One, because I loved it, and two, to save money.
You
So, one sec.
Because I remember you back in the days, your ass didn't cook for shit.
No.
So now
I could microwave some
Yeah.
joints, but I started cooking, from my roots, just Filipino food, Pinoy food.
Okay.
Get dinner ready for me and my fiance at the time. Just cooking, just looking up different recipes. Trying to test out different things I learned from my grandparents.
Okay.
And then I was a stay-at-home dad for the first year that they were born, so I had a lot of time. I had a
Yeah.
lot of time to play around, and I messed around a little bit, and then it became a little hobby of mine. And then about 2 years ago, 2015, I decided I wanted to kind of maybe go for it as a career. And it didn't pan out so well because at the time I was in the medical field.
Yeah, you're doing like phlebotomy.
Yeah, I was in the medical field for.
That was a little different too. To see you in the medical field too. You had all your tattoos. It was like,
Yeah, I was
phlebotomist.
I wasn't like the first in the field to have tattoos, but I definitely made a name for people, in the laboratory at least, that could perform in a professional setting. You know what I mean? There was a lot of spectators that had their opinions on it, but I did my job.
And you were working at Kaiser too.
I was
huh?
working at Kaiser at the time, man. I had put in 4 years over there.
Damn. So what happened over there? How come you just decided it wasn't your thing?
Um, I had a conversation with my girlfriend's mom. My girlfriend Kelsey. What's up, babe? I had a conversation with her mom one time at closing of my shift one day, and she knew how much I loved to cook, and she kind of gave me the courage or the talk that kind of changed my mindset. And she said, if you're gonna do something like this, you probably want to do it sooner than later. So I was 29, and I decided that if I'm gonna do this, I want to go into my 30s with like a new career, something I love, something I had a passion for, and I got a year. I'm a year into it now, and I'm operating on my own.
That's awesome. I mean, you have a name for the company that you work for. Or is it just Chef Neph?
Chef Neph Services. I do book. You can book me or inquire on it at chefneffservices@gmail.com. That's Chef Neph SRVCS@gmail.com.
Okay, and then we'll put the email right here on the screen so you guys can check it out. You have a website?
It's under construction right now.
Okay.
I'm working with another chef who's kind of constructing that for me. It's not my field.
Yeah.
But
Deal with the food, man. You got to deal with the food.
yeah. I'm behind the scenes, man. But Yeah, I'm a year in now. I couldn't afford to go to culinary school at the time.
So you have no like
I'm not formally
formal training?
No, I'm not formally trained, but in lieu of that, what I did strategically, I said that I was gonna obtain as much knowledge in the craft as I could through being on the line in different kitchens.
Where'd you get your start at though? I mean, I know you said earlier you used to like watch grandparents cook,
Mm-hmm.
right? You learned recipes from them,
Yeah,
but
my papa boy. Yeah,
when did you get into like cooking for others and then cooking for others for work?
for work.
Like,
Okay,
what was your
well,
first job? Like, what'd you start off doing?
my first job was for it was for a birthday party for a man named Prion, who is the owner and CEO of Alfred House Productions. It's a marketing and event production company.
Okay.
It was in I believe he's based out in Culver City, and he was referred to me, or I was referred to him through a fellow chef who is kind of like one of my mentors, Chef Maria Manuel out of Malibu, California. She referred me. She saw like my drive to kind of get into this industry, and I'm blessed because she kind of put her trust in me to kind of take me under her wing and put me into the inner circle
Mhm.
of this industry. And my life's changed ever since. My first job was a birthday party for Prion and his partner, and I hosted it for 5 hours, and that was the most exposure I got hosting an event by myself. And I saw it was very profitable, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. So I enjoyed it rather, and I decided to keep doing that. So I was still working at the time at a restaurant when I did this job, and
Oh, so you have worked at you have worked at other restaurants and stuff.
yeah. When I first left,
So like you didn't start off like flipping burgers or anything, did you?
I did,
You
I
did.
did. Yeah, I was the fry guy, man.
Yeah.
I was a fry guy. Yeah, man.
Okay.
I was dumping fries in the fryer. It's a lot more complicated than people think, man.
So tell me, like, I mean, if you I've never worked in the food industry.
Yeah.
You ever like drop stuff on the floor and just like pick it right back up and put it back in the fucking fryer?
Nah, I
No.
never, I've
You
never
ever
done
seen it
that.
happen?
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
seen it
Oh
happen?
yeah. I've
Oh
seen
man.
everything, man.
Uh,
I've seen stuff. Yeah. The wives' tales about the restaurant line are true. They're all true, man. But for me personally, I came in with some integrity because I don't have formal training,
uh,
any formal background in culinary arts. So I came in with a humble mind. I said, I'm gonna go into this 100% because I'm leaving. I sacrificed a lot. I was in the medical field, air conditioned room, 8 hours a day, steady pay, pretty good living, and
you had a good job.
yeah, I
You
had a
had
good
a
job.
very good
Yeah,
facility. Yeah.
yeah, I had some years under me, and I had some rank in the medical field in my department, but I wouldn't say I wasn't necessarily happy, but I didn't want to feel like that was it for me.
Okay.
I'm a person that likes to work with my hands and have some creative direction with what I want to do. So, and I love cooking, so I figured that chasing the culinary dream was best route for me.
Well, what kind of food are you into? Do you stick to like one type of food, or are you like all spectrums,
Um,
multicultural, different types of food?
you
Do you
know,
have like a specialty?
I get that. I get asked that a lot, but I don't have. I mean, my favorite food to eat would be like Thai food, Mediterranean food. And honestly, I'm working on something right now, that has to do with this, but Creole and like Louisiana, like Southern style comfort food,
Hmm.
I've really taken a liking to. It seems like it's real simple food, but there's a lot of background mechanics that are put into it that a lot of people don't see, and there's a lot of like skill sets involved with putting that together properly. So yeah, that's like my favorite food to cook. I just hosted a food tasting with that type of cuisine that was
Yeah.
influenced in that a month or so ago. It was successful. It was successful. My dad came out. Shout out Pops. He came out for that, and some close friends, and yeah, it was really successful. I'm gonna host another one in a couple weeks with Peruvian cuisine, and
So you do like kind of like a pop up shop type food
kinda,
tasting type thing?
yeah. I promote it. Every month I'll kind of go through the different cuisines and whatever I'm feeling that time to kind of work on.
Yeah.
I'll mess with a little bit and talk to different colleagues that I work with and get their influence or their input. And yeah, so speaking of which, I have a food tasting coming up next month for Peruvian cuisine, and I just got sponsored by Four Sons Brewery. Shout out Four Sons Brewery in Huntington Beach. They're gonna craft a beer for me and to pair with the cuisine for that evening, which will be
Awesome.
Peruvian food.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how does like a food tasting thing work? I mean, is this like open to the public
Yeah.
or is it like special invite?
Yeah, it's not special invite. It's kind of first come first serve.
Okay.
Being that I'm operating on myself, I can only handle so much
You
at
you
one time by myself.
you have a restaurant that you're hosting it at, or you is this like
Um,
a residential place?
the first food tasting I hosted was at my cousin's house. Actually, she has a nice home out in Rancho Santa Margarita.
Oh, I
Um,
hate that place.
yeah, and like South Orange
Far
County.
as fuck.
Super far, super far. But she graciously opened her home up to me. She has a perfect setting for it, so it worked out. The next place I'm aiming to either host the food tasting is probably going to be in Manhattan Beach or Malibu.
Nice.
I'm looking at some kitchen spaces. It's called the Kitchen Terminal out in Manhattan Beach,
Okay.
or the La Costa Beach Club in Manhattan Beach on PCH.
Nice.
So those would be. I'm still kind of wavering between the two.
You don't have a
venues.
specific date yet?
I don't have a specific date yet. I'm supposed to talk to the brew company, one of the sons, in regards to like dates and because they need some time to brew
Yeah.
come up with a brew for that food tasting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting, man.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
you've done one of those before?
I've done one so far. Yeah. So like I said, I'm 1 year in. Since I left the medical field in August of 2016, I've worked at 4 restaurants since from that time. So I started off with my internship at Grits in California, Fullerton, California, under Chef Cody Storts. Shout out Chef Cody. Thank you for the opportunity to give me the chance to stage under you, and to this day I never forget what I learned.
Yeah.
Scrubbing that oven for you, sweating my brains out.
So like starting at a restaurant, right? You said that was like one of your first jobs?
That was
Uh,
my first,
your very
my
first
very
restaurant
very
job?
first restaurant job was at full on from scratch kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in Fullerton.
So how many cooks are at a restaurant like that?
At the time there was Chef Cody, owner and operator,
Uh-huh.
and one sous chef, a line cook, and then I was the intern,
Okay. So there was only
aka
one
line
intern.
cook. Yeah, at the time myself. That was
Okay.
my and that was back in August, no, September, excuse me. September of 2016.
They treat you like shit there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew that going in. I
course.
was going to be ridiculed and all that.
Like
And
your apprenticeship.
yeah, I
pay your
mean,
dues.
you want to talk about being not even ragged on, just kind of ridiculed, and everything's your fault.
But it's like tough love though, right?
Yeah, cuz everything I learned in that is kind of I hold today still. Like my discipline, my attention to detail, my speed, multitasking, and just pride in your work. You know what I mean? You don't want to send bullshit out. You don't you have. I had this conversation with Chef Cody Storts, and he told me you have 45 minutes on average to kind of present yourself to somebody sitting down, and that's your basically kind of like your calling card or your resume. So he said, you have 45 minutes to showcase what you are to this group or person, whatever it is. And so I take that kind of like discipline and say, well, I want to make the best representation of myself in this food, in this presentation. So yeah, I put my all into it, and I started from scrubbing the oven, washing dishes, dunking fries, then to, perfecting a French omelet.
Was this like a paid gig or was this like for free?
Yeah, this was paid. I mean, I had to make some kind of money,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean,
it
'cause,
wasn't much.
Like there's people who do like apprenticeships at like tattoo parlors. Or
Yeah.
they don't get paid.
Nah, man. I went from, let's just say to, bypass dollar amounts. I went from 3 times what I was making at the hospital or medical field to a third of that
Wow.
in the restaurant industry. At to start, no experience, nothing, like,
And this
just
is with kids.
this is with kids. This is with trying to provide for 2 kids and
Twins.
twin
Yeah.
daughters, and at the time I had just been coming out of a separation from their mom, but luckily at the time I started this venture, I started dating my girlfriend now, Kelsey, who's been like just my rock, supporting me through everything. And
Oh, you guys were getting sappy now.
nah. We're not gonna
Shout
get
out to
sappy.
Kelsey.
Shout out Kelsey, babe. You got my back. Thank you. But yeah,
Thank you for letting him be on the show.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
she had questions about where you're going tonight,
yeah.
what
No,
neighborhood you're in.
she was a little worried. She's a little worried. I'm a long
He's
ways from
safe.
Huntington Beach.
He's safe. He's in
Um,
Pasadena.
But yeah, not to get all sappy like you said, but yeah. So man, so much was happening at that time. I
No, man,
left.
speak on it, man.
I
mean,
left my career of 5 years in the medical field, security, to chase my
honestly,
dream.
like, you could speak on it though, because
Yeah.
that's actually, it plays a big role in your career path,
Hmm.
your life.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a set of twins
Hmm.
with someone else. So
Hi
I mean,
Reese. Hi Sadie.
Daddy says hi.
What's up, babe? Babes.
But yeah, no, I mean, speak on it, man. I mean, you
Yeah, man.
recently-
It was a leap of faith, man. It was scary. It was walking away from security, and at the end of the day, walking away from being able to be confident in providing financially for my family.
Yeah.
I had to take that leap of faith and invest in myself, and I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything. I was in a vulnerable time. I went through a separation, moved out on my own, just trying to deal with all that aftermath of all that stuff while changing my careers, while raising 2 kids, while dating somebody new at the same time. So there was
that
so
must
much.
have been crazy.
Man, 2016 was a crazy year, but you know what? It tested me, and I'm here now. And I wouldn't say it was a success story, but definitely wasn't a failure story.
And it wasn't an easy story.
It
either.
wasn't an easy story.
Yeah,
So yeah, I closed out the year. I left the medical field, started my career in September 2016 at Grits. Then I hopped on over to Neptune. Shout out Chef Nathan Payo and all his crew and everybody over at Neptune's in Artesia, aka Cerritos, California. All my Cerritos people was cracking. They all came out and showed me mad love, with minimal experience going into that kitchen. So I had a little bit more like knowledge and comfort in the kitchen by that point.
Yeah.
But still a rookie, on the field. And I was there for a couple months, and then the hours were just kind of like not fitting for my schedule. So from there, I went over to Fig and Olive in Newport Beach. And that's where I really kind of picked up majority of my skill sets.
What do you mean? Explain.
So that was a fine dining, high volume corporate environment.
Okay. As
opposed to more of your mom and pop, family owned, locally visited restaurant or whatever you want to call it. So, I had to fake it till I made it there, basically. So I walked into that kitchen as a sous chef, kitchen manager. Someone in that position has probably been in the industry for a minimum of at least 5 or 6 years. So
what'd you do? You had to lie on your resume or what?
No, I didn't even have a resume at the time, man. I called him up. I saw this position posted on some website, LinkedIn or whatever it was. I was looking for jobs with some more exposure to what I wanted to learn. And Fig and Olive, it's a French cuisine influenced restaurant. French cuisine and Mediterranean. And that's where stuff really kind of happened for me. I was kind of propelled into a place to where it was sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I got thrown in with the sharks because I applied for a kitchen manager position, sous chef position, with zero culinary training and 2 restaurants under my belt in
But you
six
got away
months.
with it.
But I got in, and I floated as best as I could, but it ended up eating me alive.
Oh,
You know, aside from all the detail, I mean, I was spending hours there, and I learned a lot, but my skill set wasn't necessarily as up to par
up
as
to
it should
par.
have been.
Yeah.
So you know, hey, it's a learning experience. I did what I could. They didn't fire me. I left on my own accord because I didn't want to like mess their functionality up. I told them, you know, I appreciated the opportunity, but you know, it's time to part ways because I obviously couldn't fill that sous chef position. You know, sous
Yeah.
chefs they work for the executive position. They've been in the game for years, and here I am, less than a year in, trying to be a sous chef. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, um, you know, Chef Carlos Lul, shout out Chef Carlos Lul. He's still at Fig and Olive, but now in the Melrose location.
Okay.
He took a chance on me, he trained me, he, you know, taught me as best he could, but um, you know, I'm not gonna say it didn't work out, but I took it upon me to kind of retract from that position because I cared about the place and I felt like they needed a person of a better caliber to perform for their staff and all that. So I dipped up out of there. And then from there, I went to Shorebreak Hotel, Huntington Beach, Pacific Hideaway Restaurant. Um, and that was a quick visit. That
Well,
was,
when you say quick, what do you mean by quick?
I
Like
mean, I was there
2 days, 3 days,
maybe 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
2 months. Again, I learned a lot there. It was a Pacific Rim Pan Asian fusion restaurant. Again, high volume, and this time is in a hospitality setting with you know the hotel, and also it's in the mecca of entertainment in Huntington Beach in downtown Main Street, where you know tourists from all over the world are coming. Operating hours are into the entertainment hours of the evening, so I got exposure to a lot. But without getting into detail about the situation of how I parted ways there, you know,
Was it that bad?
let's just say that I can
Uh,
confidently say that one of the employees there was intimidated by what I had to offer, and found, you know, certain things to kind of smoke me out of there. And it was at that point when I realized, I said, you know, with this direction I'm trying to go with, I need to find something where I can operate for myself. Because I kind of knew that I wanted creative direction of what I was doing
of course.
and not have to report to anybody. So as an entrepreneur, a business operator, I had this intuition that it was time. It was time. Like I got enough experience in the last year. Not to say that I'm above it or better than anybody else, but from my personal knowledge, I felt like I had enough.
What was that one thing that really told you like, okay, this is it. I'm not gonna. I don't want to work for anybody else anymore, and I want to start working for myself.
God. God told me one day, man. I went home and he said through whatever vessel or you know message he gave me, it was basically saying you need to be your own boss, not for any egotistical reasons, but for reasons of being a father. You need to be available.
Oh,
You need to have time for your kids. In the restaurant field, there's not very many fathers because it's not feasible to really be available. And I figured that if I'm operating for myself, I can make my own schedule, not have to clock in and clock out and all that jazz. So I figured if I figure out a way to operate for myself while providing and doing what I love, that's a ticket. And so I Googled one day, personal chef, Orange County. And it brought me to a bunch of links and this and that. And I started doing my research, blah, blah. And I ended up interacting with Chef Maria Manuel, out of Malibu, California. And she really put me on the map to where I am now. And it's been a blessing ever since. She really, not going to say saved me, but she really changed my life and my family's life by introducing me to the circle of private chefs in Southern California. Through her, I've met Chef Nate Romo, from Detroit, Michigan, who has resided in Southern California for the last 15 years. He is my mentor, my agent, my friend. Shout out Chef Nate Romo. Thank you for everything. He has given me the opportunities that I needed to be self-sufficient as a business operator. He's given me some clients, some clientele, some skill set, some knowledge, know-how, and just overall support and advice I needed to kind of figure out how to market myself and increase my skill sets and yada, yada, yada. So through Chef Marie and Manuel, I've met Chef Nate Romo, become an affiliate of the Private Chefs Guild. And yeah, so that being said, it's brought me to having clientele at the caliber of universities, people of celebrity.
You do pretty large scale crowds.
Yeah, I'm doing some larger scale events. You know, I about a month ago I catered and hosted a event for Brown University and NASA, Pepperdine University swim team. Coming up soon, I'll be working with Mandy Moore and Kings of Leon in November.
That's dope.
Yeah, I have some corporate clientele like Ferrari, Maserati of Newport Beach. The names don't necessarily mean much to me. It's just for marketing myself, it shows that I can perform to a caliber of expectations for people of a certain standard. So that's why it's kind of a small victory for me when I get these types of clients, because it shows
you have
that
to celebrate every small thing as a victory. Though,
every
man.
small victory,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? When I went from scrubbing ovens in a mom and pop kitchen to hosting private events for the likes of, let's say, Mandy Moore or whatever
Celebrity,
who it is. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the recognition for myself to say, like, okay, you made the right decision. You're doing what you love. You're being able to provide, and overall spreading good juju, spreading love, spreading aloha, spreading, the word. Not to get into that, but like that's what I stand for nowadays. And yeah, man, everything's blessed, man. I'm super blessed.
And it's funny because it's been a long time since I've seen you, and the last time I saw you, your ass definitely wasn't like this.
Nah.
You were definitely not like this. You were still living that life.
Yeah. Yeah. I was waiting for this part of the interview to
Yeah.
come in.
Jeramie and I, we go way back.
Yeah, we do.
When did I meet you?
I met you in 8th grade,
Yeah,
man.
you're in 8th grade?
You were a freshman, and my cousin Bobby Pasquale
Was this at the bowling alley?
is at the bowling alley in Eagle Rock.
Bitch.
Shout out Kuya Bob, man, and the rest of my cousins. Yeah, I was hanging out. I was a knucklehead, man. You know that. When I was younger, I was a lost little kid, man. Just trying to fit in where I could. I didn't know what was going on.
Don't even get me started with all the stories that I could tell, man.
Oh, that's a laundry list of stories. But
yeah,
man, and we met. What is that? 2000?
Probably
17 years ago. Yeah, about 2000. Yeah, because freshman year for me was 2001.
Yeah.
So I met you in 8th grade. Like I saw you at the bowling alley. I was like, "Yo, man, that guy looks cool." And I was kind of,
who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah,
like,
I was trying to like,
at me for?
I was like, no, I'm not gonna say that, but I was like trying to gauge you. I was like, man, he's cool, but I don't know if he's like noticing me to be like a friend or nothing like that. So I kind of made my move like, hey, what's up, man? And you weren't really open and warm to the idea.
I mean, I was young at the time, man. I was just like, this guy's coming off a little too friendly. We're not used to that. We're not used to that.
Yeah. Where we come from, you got to kind of have a little callous and kind of gauge people. And anyway, yeah. But 2000, 8th grade, I met you then at the bowling alley, and then we started hanging out. We became really close in high school.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of dumb shit back in the days.
We did, and I don't regret any of it.
I don't either.
I don't regret none of it, man. It made me who I am today.
Definitely
yeah.
has.
I had good times, bad times. You put me up in your house for a summer.
And you rolled up out of that bitch.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, man. That's what brings me here today, man. I was like, I dipped out of the map of LA for the last, I don't know, 10 plus years, but I never forgot my roots, man. I'll never forget what you and your family did for me.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
my family always took care of
Mm-hmm.
everybody
Mm-hmm.
around. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all of my friends would call my
You gotta
parents
forgive
mom
me.
and
What's
dad.
your mom's name again?
Oh my God, mom, if you're watching,
I'm sorry. Tito
Connie.
Joe and Auntie Connie. Tita Connie. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for everything. I haven't forgotten. That's why I'm here now, trying to say thank you.
I don't know if my parents watch this podcast, but
But if they do,
maybe they will.
yeah, if they
Everybody
do,
wants to know what the hell I'm up to nowadays. So
I want to know what you're up to. Enough about me. What are you up to, bro?
this is not your show, bro. This is my show.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not talking about me.
All right, all
We
right,
can
all
save
right.
that for another podcast. But I
All
mean,
right,
if
all right.
you guys do want to know,
Yeah.
I am finishing nursing school in about 9 days. So
Pause right there. Can we all get a round of applause for my man Joey Abad, aka Flojoe, aka the man, aka the homie? Cheers to that, bro. I'm proud of you. I can't wait to celebrate you when you're done.
9 more days, man. 9 more days, and
9 more quick days to
I
the
don't
next
know.
chapter.
I don't know. The past 14 days have felt like the longest 14. It's felt longer than the past 3 years that I've actually been in school. And it just can't come any sooner.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I have to say, like you said earlier, I haven't seen you in about 4 years. I'm thankful that we can pick up from where we left off.
Yeah,
Like nothing's happened. You know that's
I mean, it's not like anything did happen in the first place, but
nah.
yeah.
It's that's the true meaning of friendship, when you can pick up from where you left off after years of no contact, no communication, nothing like that. So I just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm blessed to still be in your life.
I'm proud
bro.
of you too, dog. Man.
Thanks, bro.
Like
Thank you.
I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised to see you doing what you're doing.
Me too, bro.
I remember seeing like pictures of, I don't know if it's on Instagram or was it on Snapchat. Like you're in the kitchen, you're like putting together this goddamn salad, and I'm like, motherfucker don't even eat salad. Like, who's he making this for?
Yeah.
And I see more pictures of you just like cooking and cooking. I'm like, hold up, this is like starting to look better than my cooking. Like, damn, hold up, I need to hit him up and let him know I'm hungry too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man,
Hey,
congratulations with that.
Knife skills paying my bills, man. Knife skills are paying my bills.
So where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? You still want to be doing the whole personal chef thing, or you have bigger plans than that?
Probably
or are you
not.
comfortable doing what you're doing now?
Probably not. Ideally in this circuit, most people want to own their own brick and mortar location.
You don't want to own a restaurant?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely up there in one of the ideas of what I want to do in the next 5 years. I don't see that it's not in the future. A lot of people have approached me about that. I'm working on a pop-up right now.
Okay.
For the Huntington Beach Street Fair, which is on Tuesday nights. I'm working with one, possibly two chefs to make that happen, to launch in November. I don't want to go to the level of corporate, that's for sure. I support local business. I want to operate for the community feel, kind of support locally sourced produce and farmers markets and everything like that. Not that I'm against corporate, it's just not my cup of tea.
Of course.
But I see myself in 5 years doing being a personal chef? It's possible. Do I want more than that? Yeah. Do I want a restaurant and all the responsibility that comes with that? Not necessarily sure right now. But I definitely can see it as a possibility. That's for sure. And I don't want to get into too much detail about, what's in the makings for the restaurant or my pop-up, but I will say that I should be, or myself and my partner in this project should be launching a pop-up food kiosk in November.
Okay.
I don't know which part of November, possibly early to mid-November, at the Huntington Beach Street Fair on Tuesday nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You gotta make sure you keep us all updated so I can let everybody know.
I will. And a side note to that is I will be donating, or myself and my girlfriend will be donating 10% of our profit or earnings from that project to Autism Speaks. It's a project that it means a lot to us. I recently got endorsed by them to be a corporate endorsed sponsor with any of my projects via my church or any type of food related projects I might do. And that's all spawned from my girlfriend, who is a behavioral therapist. She works with children with autism. And I wanted to kind of do something that can incorporate both of our passions and both of our trades together so we can work together and, give back.
Yeah, definitely.
Give back and do something for others while doing what we love. So, that's a good reason to come out. A portion of what your purchases will go to that foundation. And and all in all, you get some good food. We get to visit, catch up, and I'm gonna be doing a raffle for some hats and some T-shirts. Maybe you can come out. And
some personalized stuff, some of your own merchandise.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some not. I'm not. It's not gonna say like Chef Neph's, but like I said earlier, to jump back to what we talked about earlier. One of my favorite cuisines is Creole Louisiana style.
Yeah.
Bayou Southern comfort food. So that's kind of gonna be the motif I'm going for. And so it's going to be called Nephew's Catch and Cook. So it's going to be fried chicken and fish.
Okay.
Spicy chicken and fish, seafood, sandwiches, po' boys, jambalaya, gumbo, things like that. Yeah, with a little bit of aloha mixed in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You definitely got to keep me updated, man. I wanna come out and support.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what do your parents say?
My dad's,
because that's they probably didn't expect this.
No, nobody did. I didn't expect it, man. I the other day I was working an event and I just told to myself I couldn't believe that this was my job. I get to do what I love. I get to meet people. I get to see the expression on people's faces when they get their food. As simple as it is, it's gratifying to me. I took, like I said, I took a leap of faith to do what I love, and now it's proving to be a profitable source of income and consistently do what I love and all that jazz. It trips me out, man. There's a song that my OG homie Pat France from Long Beach, what's cracking with you? He played this song while because I do some side work with him, and we were on a job site one time, and he played this song. It was called "Vacation" by Dirty Heads. It's a reggae band, and it's called "Vacation" because the lyrics go, "Ay, I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation," and I think about that because it's, legit. Like every day I go to work, I don't feel like it's work. Because I love what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I sweating, stressed out, on a time crunch, people yelling, all that nonsense, all that controlled chaos. It feels good. Like the more chaotic the situation is, where I kind of hone in and like feel like I'm more in focus.
So you're saying that you work pretty well under pressure.
I do. I kind of thrive in those situations where I have to think on my toes and kind of produce something out of nothing.
Do you find yourself
in a certain amount of time?
Do you find yourself like outperforming yourself every time?
I do.
You feel under pressure?
I do. And if I didn't, I don't think I would continue this craft. If I didn't feel like I was progressing and learning and bettering myself in what I'm doing, I would have dipped out a long time ago.
So, I mean, what would you say, like, the biggest thing you've learned from taking this leap? From working, scrubbing these
ovens and
stuff to now owning your own business?
Honestly, the biggest thing I've learned through all this is organization. Organizing and in every form, your materials, organizing your time, what you're dedicating your efforts and time to, because that all matters. That all counts. People are hungry and people want good food, and people want it in a respectable amount of time. And like I said, you have a platform of about 45 minutes to kind of prove that to somebody. So I've learned how to multitask, organize, execute, all within a realm of, let's say, 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I think patience, attention to detail, multitasking, and just overall passion and love for the craft I've picked up in the last year. And, I can only see it growing from here, getting better. I have a lot of people I look up to in this industry. And they're my influences and my inspirations. And yeah, I think I've picked up a lot of traits that have helped my business, or just me as a cook or chef, whatever you want to call it. And you know what? I have to touch on that for a little bit. There's a lot of dispute on the title of a chef. How can one be called a chef without formal training?
Or are
things
they
of that
just called a
nature.
cook?
Are they just called a line cook or a pizza boy? I've had conversations with people regarding that, and it's kind of an important thing for me to touch on right now, because there is a perception of the title of a chef, and
Which is kind of contradicting, because to the whole stigma, because you don't have any formal training, but you go by
Chef
Chef
Neph.
Neph,
Yeah.
right? So explain that a little to us.
So, the title of a chef, it bears a lot of responsibility, a lot of training, a lot of experience, for lack of a better explanation. However, there are a lot of people in my position that have become very, very successful without formal culinary training or certification, or anything in that realm of the craft, being called chef. But that being said, I've kind of gone the route of what we call a pirate in the kitchen industry, and kind of worked my way to where I'm at now. Now, there's going to be a lot of critics that disagree with me, or may look down on me, or may feel like I'm full of shit, and that's okay. That's okay. That's their prerogative. I'm doing me, and I'm making a living for myself, and that's all I care. That's all I care about, for myself and my family. So there's a 16-year-old chef out of Europe that was scrutinized for his label of being a chef without culinary experience and whatnot. And I kind of read his article, and one of the things he said was, why do I have to subject myself to that kind of ridicule or experience or late nights or sacrifice just to be called a chef, just to do what I love to do? And I kind of honed in on that, like, yeah, granted, we're from different, backgrounds and story, but what resonated for me in that is that, why do I have to take the quintessential route of everybody else to make my dream happen? I'm not trying to say I wanted to cut corners, but I had to do what I had to do for myself, because a lot was riding on this beyond just myself. I have kids involved that I have to provide for, a girlfriend that has invested so much of herself into this. And so for me to say that I don't feel confident to be called chef, no, I will represent the title, because I have performed at the level of an executive chef in some or a lot of cases.
So what do you have to say? Like, what is your message to someone out there who doesn't consider you a chef?
My message to them is, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. No, my message is that, what, to each his own. Whatever your hustle, and in 2017, the average person has to work 2, possibly 3 jobs, and I don't think that anyone can knock that hustle, for lack of better words. I mean, everyone's got to do what they got to do, and whatever that route may be to do so, you know, I don't disrespect or knock on that. Um, you know, would I have preferred to go to a culinary institution to gain my knowledge and experience? Absolutely. But I didn't have the
If the
means
means and the funds were available, yeah.
or the availability. Timing wasn't feasible for me. So, you know, again, I totally, absolutely, 100% respect the trade and the title of a chef, and so there's no disrespect to that route at all. I completely 100% endorse that. Did I go that route? No, for reasons of circumstance, not for because I disrespect that path. But I don't take away from where I am now. You know, if I've been called chef and I'm considered a private chef, personal event chef now, I'm gonna own that because I put passion 100% into what I do. And not everybody can walk into this circuit and do what I do. You can't have a faint heart and do what I do. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hours, a lot of, you know, labor, legwork, and just overall experience to kind of put up with this. So I mean, without getting into too much detail, like I will say to everybody who is in my position,
Yeah, okay. So which is basically going to lead me to my next question. You probably don't realize this yet, but you're a role model. You're a role model to someone. You know, what would you tell those younger kids out there who l- have a passion for
yeah,
cooking, baking, or
yeah.
you know,
What I
but don't have the means to put themselves, or their
yeah,
parents don't have the means to put themselves
absolutely,
through school? I mean, what would you
absolutely,
tell them?
absolutely. I have well, not close friends. I have some acquaintances that I know that did go that route, and I have the utmost respect for them. But for the people that are not necessarily following my footsteps, but are coming from the same circumstances myself, I will say, don't let anybody get in the way of following your dreams. Do not let anybody get in the way of following your dreams. It takes your mindset to get where you're at. It doesn't take hard work. I mean, that comes second, but it's all within your mindset. If you put your mind, and my dad's told me this for years, and it's from one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future. Joe, you know what I'm talking about. Marty McFly, he said, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And straight up, I'm here now because one day I was laying in bed and I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do. And then from there, I went to writing it on paper. And then from there, I went to like kind of putting it in motion, kind of like talking to people, kind of sharing that interest and news. And then I got my first gig, and then I did this, and then I did that, and then now it's coming to fruition now, and it's really Will Smith. Will Smith said it best. He said, "The greatest things in life are on the other side of fear." You have to take a chance and leap to get to your goals, to attain your goals. And straight up, that's true because I had everything riding on this, bro. And walking away from Kaiser and benefits and the pay to making $10 an hour at a scratch kitchen, no benefits, not full time, scrubbing ovens. There's been a lot of times where I wanted to throw in the towel, and said, oh, I made the wrong decision. This is a mistake. But what really kept me going was, aside from my girlfriend and aside from my daughters depending on this, is God. He really kind of guided me through getting the confidence to keep pursuing it, saying through muddy waters and high mountains, just keep going. And I did. And now I'm here rubbing elbows with the best in the industry, from from South Orange County to the likes of Malibu and Santa Barbara. I know almost a good percentage of the chefs that are willing to back and support me and teach me, guide me, advise me on what I need to do to perfect my craft and grow my business and grow my network. And I have all I emit all homage to them because they really propelled me to where I'm at now. And this is just the beginning, bro.
Are there any chefs out there that you'd love to work with?
Uh,
Any?
yeah. Chef Zeph, excuse me, Chef Zach Minkoff, of CBS Studios. Chef Zach, I talked to you the other day. I want to work with you. Um, and Hop Fan of out of Orange County, who owns Dos Chinos food truck and now restaurant. He's a big name in the food truck industry.
Well, it's funny. I was gonna ask you, what are your thoughts on the whole food truck, that whole industry?
That game is gangster, bro. That game is gangster.
I mean, it went from like, buying tacos and burritos at your
Leo's
local
Taco
your
Truck.
trucks
Yeah,
to
shout out
now
Leo's
buying
Taco Truck.
everything. Like they have anything from
Anything and
any
everything.
kind of food, man.
And they're operating like, I mean, you look at the heavy hitters, Kogi or Koji, however you pronounce it, by Roy Choi.
Yeah.
You have the Halal Bros, White Rabbit, you know. I don't hate on that game. I don't know if I'm fit to handle that game even. It's a monster in itself. I mean, to operate a full-on cooking food
Restaurant
operation
on wheels.
in a space of 10 to 12 feet with 3 to 4 guys maybe, it's gangster, man. And the hours and the labor and just the overall production of it is super cool. I've worked on a food truck once or twice, and it beat me up, man. It beat me up. But with that being said, it's very the payoff to there is more than just a paycheck. You know, you get an adrenaline rush through working like that. You know, you see the line of people just wrapped around for an hour or whatever just to taste whatever sandwich, taco, burrito, whatever it is that you got. Yeah, I mean, not to say that you're big and bad and everyone wants to wait in line for you, but they're taking their time out of doing anything else to kind of wait for what you got going on. So that's pretty cool. And it is a route that I might venture into or entertain. I have thought about it. I'm still thinking about it. As of now, at this point, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready for that. It takes a lot to operate that. So I give mad props and big ups and shout out to everybody doing that, because I know that game is not an easy one to follow. But yeah, it's definitely a good route for everyone who's ready to do that.
Man. Anything else you want to add? Let everybody know where they can get in contact or get a hold of you if they ever want to, reach out to you and possibly hire you for some private events. How could people get a hold of you?
Yeah, my social media platforms, at Chef Jeramie on Facebook.
How do you spell it?
Chef, Chef, Jeramie spelled Jeramie. And my Instagram on my chef page, because I have two pages, my personal and my business. Chef, Chef _Neph, Neph, all lowercase. You can follow me on there, and then my email is chefneffservices at gmail.com, but it's spelled without the vowels. So chef, Chef Neph SRVCS at gmail.com.
We'll put the link down in the description down below, so
yeah, man,
everybody can go check that out.
Yeah, man. Lastly, I just want to thank you, bro.
Of course,
thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming out to the show.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, you're actually my first guest, so welcome to Off the Ground.
That's
so this
what's
is
up.
For those of you guys who don't know, Off the Ground is where we sit down and we talk to entrepreneurs, we talk to musicians, we want to talk to athletes, we want to talk to anybody out there who's got something going for themselves, and we want to hear about how you got your career off of the ground. So welcome to the OTG show, and thank you for being our first guest. If you guys want to hit us up on any of our social medias, our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook is at OTG show. You guys can see it right there in the back. It's OTG show. We don't have a website. I mean, we do have a domain, but that's just
What was our
floating in
crew
the
back
air.
in the day?
We're not even going there.
Under
KWK,
construction.
GUC crew.
You see. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but if you want to hit us up on our website, the website is www.offthegroundshow.com. Yeah, so if you guys like this episode and you guys want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you guys do like this video, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. Let us know that you guys like it. Leave some comments. Let us know who you guys want us to talk to. Anything else you want to add, man?
Yeah, man. I'm sorry if all those stories were, elongated, and I don't mean to be on a rant, but straight up shout out to everybody that supported me. Shout out Joey. Thank you for having me
No
on
problem,
here,
man.
man.
No doubt.
I'm honored to be here. I'm just glad to catch up with you. And yeah, follow your dreams. Don't let anybody get in the way of that, man. This is the time. This is the time to kind of, capitalize on what you think you can be. Be the best version of yourself. Spread aloha, and yeah, emit love to everything you do and passion, and it'll get you there. So much love to everybody
the
else.
chef. The chef knows best. With all that said, my name is Flojoe. This is Chef Neph. This is the OTG show, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys. Peace.
Yeah.